there are World Cups, and then there is FIFA World Cup 2026. A tournament expanded, rebuilt, reimagined, hosted across 3 nations, United States, Mexico, and Canada. But for one team, it is not just history, it is pressure at scale. For the United States men's national soccer team, 2026 is not a celebration. It is a test of survival in front of the world. And behind closed doors, there is a plan so detailed, so aggressive, and so uncompromising. It almost looks like a military operation disguised as football preparation. For decades, the United States approached soccer like a developing project. Now, it is different. Now, it is a system. A machine built to function under global pressure. The philosophy inside the USMNT structure has shifted from let's compete to we must survive every phase of the tournament, because survival in a World Cup is not about style. It is about control under chaos, and chaos is guaranteed. The internal blueprint for 2026 is built on 3 invisible layers. Layer 1, physical warfare. Modern football is no longer 90 minutes. It is repeated sprints, collisions, and recovery cycles. Players are being prepared to play high-intensity press systems for full matches, recover faster than opponents, endure condensed match schedules. The goal is simple: outlast everyone. Layer 2, tactical mutation. No single system survives a World Cup, so the USMNT is training multiple identities: high press aggression, mid-block defensive containment, fast transition counterattacks, emergency low block survival mode. The team is expected to switch systems mid-match without losing structure. This is not flexibility, this is adaptation under fire. Layer 3, psychological resistance. This is the layer most teams fail. Not tactics, not fitness, pressure, especially at home. Because in 2026, the United States is not just playing, it is being watched. Every mistake amplified, every loss magnified. So players undergo pressure conditioning, simulated knockout scenarios, hostile crowd simulations, last minute decision training under fatigue. The goal is not confidence, it is emotional stability under collapse conditions. The modern USMNT is no longer built in one place. It is scattered across Europe's toughest leagues. Players develop in England's physical intensity, Germany's tactical discipline, Spain's technical systems, Italy's defensive structure. When they return, they do not just bring talent, they bring conflicting football languages. So the biggest challenge is not development, it is synchronization, turning individual philosophies into one unified survival system. Every generation has its pressure point. For this team, it is the so-called golden goal. Players expected to carry expectation. Christian, McKennie, Joe, Anthony. Each carries a different burden. Leadership, engine work, creativity, structure, defensive balance. But in 2026, talent alone means nothing, because World Cups don't reward potential. They reward execution under collapse. In tournament football, there is always one match that defines the path. one group game, one moment of breakdown or breakthrough. The USMNT plan accounts for this. They prepare not just for opponents but for momentum shifts, because once momentum flips in the World Cup, recovery is rare. So the team trains for playing well behind, protecting narrow leads, surviving momentum storms. It is not about dominance, it is about damage control. The domestic league, Major League Soccer, has become a hidden weapon in the system, not because it produces superstars, but because it produces depth, and depth wins tournaments. MLS provides match fitness pipelines, tactical repetition, emergency co-op readiness, physical conditioning environments. In 2026, the USMNT will not rely on 11 players. It will rely on 23 players who can enter at any moment and not break the system. Hosting the World Cup sounds like advantage, but internally it is treated like a risk factor. Because home pressure is different. It is not opposition noise, it is expectation noise. Crowds don't just support, they demand. So players are trained for emotional overload, crowd silence simulations after mistakes, media pressure drills, social expectation conditioning. Because in 2026, pressure will not come from opponents, it will come from everywhere. Modern World Cups are often decided in dead ball situations, so set pieces become a hidden battlefield. Corners, free kicks, throw-ins. The USMNT has dedicated preparation blocks for offensive set plays, defensive zoning systems, second ball reactions, goalkeeper communication structure. Because when games become tight, set pieces decide survival. Every team enters the World Cup with an identity, but not every team keeps it. Under pressure, identity breaks first. So the USMNT system focuses on one principle: do not lose structure when chaos arrives. Even when fatigue sets in, pressure increases, mistakes happen, matches tilt, the system must remain alive. Because survival is not perfection, it is recovery after failure. Survival in a World Cup does not look glamorous. It looks like grinding 1-0 wins, penalty shootouts, late defensive blocks, moments of pure suffering. But those moments build something else: belief. And belief changes tournaments. When the tournament begins, everything resets. Plans become irrelevant if execution fails. But if the system holds, if the structure survives pressure, if the team adapts instead of collapsing, then something changes. Not just for the USMNT, but for global perception. Because the 2026 World Cup is not just about hosting, it is about proving whether the United States belongs at football's highest level. Not as an outsider, not as a developing nation, but as a team capable of surviving the most brutal competition in sport. And if they survive, then 2026 won't just be remembered as a tournament, it will be remembered as a turning point.